My name is Ayesha Bedwei Ibe. I am the tax leader here at PwC, and I'm also a global tax people leader for PwC globally. Apart from that, I'm also the president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Ghana. I'm also in Christian ministry. My husband and I pastor the Revelation Church, so I wear a lot of hats. Well, I am a very reserved person, and so I was a very reserved and shy child. But I think that the experiences that I had brought me out of my shell. So the number one experience I remember is the fact that my father had a job that made us travel quite a lot. So I had to keep making friends, which was challenging for me because of my personality type, but it made me come out of my shell gradually. And also one of the lasting lessons I think I've learned from that is being accepting of all kinds of people and being open to change. I probably went to about 6 primary schools by the time I was 10 years old, and a lot of change for a young child. But again, I think that helped me as I got into my more mature years. So I moved to Ghana when I was 11, and I went to, I did a brief stint at Laboni Secondary School, and I went to St. Mary's Secondary School, which is now St. Mary's Senior High School, a school where I spent 7 years of my life with other girls, making lasting friendships which are still valid today. Where I learned a lot of life lessons. I'd say I became a bit more streetwise and learned that not everybody in society is the same. Some people are underprivileged, some people are more privileged, but what's important and what connects us is our humanity. And then I was privileged enough to go to university in the UK, and I think that was also a defining moment in my life and also in my career, because that is where I got the opportunity to have focused and tailored career advice, which led me on the path I'm on now. I'm only doing what I'm doing now because I was able to form a lasting opinion and be convinced that this was a thing for me to do because somebody held my hand and guided me to do that. And that is not lost on me because a lot of people in Africa, and especially in Ghana, don't have that opportunity, and they end up starting their professional lives a lot later than they should, which means that they end up creating wealth a lot later than they should. And so I count myself very blessed and privileged to have had that opportunity. I think the thing about me is that I'm a creative person who likes structure. So both sides of my brain are very engaged. So I think in pictures, I also like numbers. And so that was reflective of what I wanted to be when I was growing up. I wanted to be an architect until I encountered the financial world. And I realized that's where my true love was. Again, defining moments came when my economics teacher, Mr. Samuel Azasu, who is now a lecturer, a professor somewhere in Spain, actually took the time to teach economics in a fun way. And so that's what won me over. So again, I think a lesson that I picked up from that, which I also always share with people, is that really it's about the people in your life who advocate for you, who speak for you when you don't have a voice, who help you understand things about yourself when you don't. They actually help you form and become the person that you are meant to be. When it comes to leadership, I think leadership is really all about the fact that you've been given an opportunity to guide other people, to help them grow, and to chart a path according to your vision and your strategy. It's really about serving other people. And it's similar to being a parent. And I think my leadership style is almost like parenting, where I'm trying to help the person or the people I'm leading realize their own strength, realize their own potential, and sort of coach them through it. So not do things for them or expect them to be serving me or lording it over them, but helping them realize that they have the power within themselves, that they've been equipped with everything that they need, and they just need to harness that. And it brings a lot of joy when I see realizations coming over them and also having them realize that actually I can actually do this myself. And then essentially creating other leaders out of them and helping them also create other leaders down the chain. When I build people, I also want to build myself. So when I see opportunities that I can rise to, that makes my heart sing. I've always been interested in self-development and self-growth. So if there are ways that I realize, oh wow, there's an opportunity for me to grow and become this person, or become the first person to do this, or I'm able to ascend to a higher level, a higher dimension of myself. The thing is to take a step, maybe an imperfect step, but it's a step. And you'd be surprised at what you can come out with. And after that, you just keep improving upon it. So don't be afraid to take a step. I think that's where a lot of people struggle because they overthink, overanalyze, and want it to be perfect. So just take that step, no matter how imperfect. One of the things I know is that the decision about who your spouse is, for both men and women, is probably the most important career decision that you'll make. Because your spouse can help you soar or they can bring you down. And so I'm fortunate enough to marry somebody who helps me soar, who sees my potential, who encourages me to go further. So that is very helpful because we all have moments of doubt, of self-doubt. And so if the person you are closest to, your spouse, is able to tell you, believe in yourself, I know you can do it, it kind of instills additional confidence in you and you can go forward. And when it comes to raising children, I think that, first of all, we don't have a handbook. And so as parents, we make mistakes. Our parents made mistakes. We need to forgive each other for that, first of all. And I think we learn as we go along. I get a lot of inspiration and validation and also guidance from my relationship with God and from the principles that He has set out in His Word. But I still make mistakes. So one of the things I do with my daughter is just to make sure that I am not afraid to be vulnerable with her. Also admit when I don't know the right answer. And sometimes the assurance we can give our children or people depending on us is that we don't know what's going to happen, but at least we have each other. Another thing that's also important, like I said, is allowing my daughter to realize that she can do whatever it is she wants to do, and also making a conscious effort not to do things for her that she should be doing for herself. Now, when it comes to women realizing their leadership potential, I think we all have leadership potential, first of all. But for women, I think that sometimes, especially for women, we have self-doubt quite a bit. And it's important for us to see other women doing what we aspire to do for us to believe that it's possible. So I think some of the things that we can do as women is A, to support each other, B, to look for women who embody what it is you want to be or what you want to have in terms of where you see yourself going and what you aspire to. It's very important to have those networks and very important to have those conversations. I think, again, vulnerability comes back into it. Don't be afraid to show that you don't know and you're ready to learn. I have always been hungry for self-development and improvement. So I'm not shy to walk up to a woman I don't know and say, I admire what you're doing. How did you do it? Please, would you mind showing me? Women Revealed is coming up. Women Revealed is a program that I host at the Revelation Church. And this year's theme is about women and wealth, because I believe it's important that we are empowered as women from a wealth perspective, not just financial wealth, even though that's a major theme, but also wealth in other areas of our lives. And so again, how do we glean this wealth? Yes, from the Word of God, but then also from women who are doing it, women who have done it, women who can point us in the right direction. And so that is what I hope to achieve as a result of that time of fellowship and sharing. So alone time is very important with me. So it will surprise you to know that when I have downtime, sometimes I just like to be in silence, just processing everything that I've kind of had to deal with. And when that is done, I honestly do silly things like play loud music and jump around and have solo dance parties in my room. Because it's important to be a child again. It's important to let loose and be free and be happy. And I also love the beach a lot, but just being around a body of water really, really relaxes me. And I love going on vacation. I like going on vacation in places that are full of nature. Legon Botanical Gardens is my oasis in the city. Ebri, wonderful. Senchi, another great place. The whole Akosombo area, I love. There's a place just around Kumasi. It is a prayer mountain, a trail mountain. That is a proper forest. That involves climbing and that involves being at a high level with the air being clean and all of that. So those are some of the places that I've been. And you know, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to go on vacation. Just go to places that feed your soul. And these are places that feed mine. And I just figured it out the other day that I'm just called to build people. That is what I am called to do. And through these channels of PwC, of AmCham, of all the other things I'm involved in, MasterCard Foundation, advising small businesses, these are just avenues and tools for me to build people. I'm very joyful when I see people's lives change, just because I've been able to point them in the right direction for them to then take decisions and steps that will empower them further. And so as long as I can continue to build people, I'm open to all the avenues that God will bring my way. And that gives me true joy and fulfillment.